Hello and welcome back. So today's video is going to be a sad one. It is going to be all about Princess Mafalda of Savoy, who died in a concentration camp in Germany. So Princess Mafalda of Savoy was born on the 19th of November 1902. She was the daughter of Victor Emmanuel III of Italy and Elena of Montenegro. So in the early 1920s in Italy, Mussolini's fascist government came into power, but Victor Emmanuel was still king. When World War II started in 1939, Mussolini wanted Italy to join the war on Hitler's side, but Victor Emmanuel actually wanted to keep Italy neutral. But despite of what Victor Emmanuel wanted, on the 10th of June 1940, Mussolini entered Italy into the war on Germany's side. On the 23rd of September 1925, Mafalda had married Prince Philip of Hesse, Landgrave of Hesse-Kassel. They had 4 children together. So Philip was the grandson of the German Emperor Frederick III, and he was also a member of the Nazi Party. In 1933, Philip had been appointed governor of the province of Hessen-Nassau by Hitler, and during the war he rose to the honorary rank of general in Hitler's brown shirts. Now, Philip's marriage to Mafalda meant that he was in an excellent position to act as a go-between between the governments of Italy and Germany. But Hitler didn't actually like Mafalda that much. He thought that she was working against the war effort and called her the blackest carrion in the royal house. Joseph Goebbels didn't like Mafalda either, calling her the biggest bitch in the entire Italian royal house. And Hitler also thought that Mafalda had actually poisoned her brother-in-law Boris III of Bulgaria. So by 1943, Philip and Hitler's relationship was not very good. Apparently, Philip had been providing Jews with passports so that they would be able to escape to Holland. So because they weren't getting along, Philip tried to resign his job, but Hitler wouldn't allow him to. In September 1943, Princess Mafalda went to Bulgaria to attend the funeral of her brother-in-law Boris III. While at the funeral, Mafalda was told that Italy had surrendered to the Allies, and that her husband was under house arrest in Bavaria, and that her children were in sanctuary in the Vatican. But there was also something that Mafalda was not told about, and this was that the Gestapo had ordered her arrest. On the 23rd of September 1943, Mafalda received a call from Karl Haas at the German High Command. He told her that her husband had a message for her, so she went to the German embassy to get this message from her husband, but when she got there she was arrested. At around the same time, Philip had been invited to be a guest at Hitler's headquarters, but Hitler had told his guards that once Philip was inside the building, he was not allowed back out again. Mafalda was first taken to Munich to be questioned and then on to Berlin before being taken to Buchenwald concentration camp in Weimar, Germany. Buchenwald had been established in July 1937 and was one of the first and largest concentration camps in Germany's 1937 borders. It was actually primarily a concentration camp for men, but Mafalda was put in there because there was a special compound in there for dignitaries, and in her dignitary compound there was approximately 54 other people being held there with her. Obviously a lot more people in the concentration camp as a whole. On the 24th of August 1944, the Americans bombed an ammunition factory that was inside the concentration camp. Around 400 prisoners were killed during this attack, and Princess Mafalda was seriously injured after being buried up to her neck in rubble. She also suffered from severe burns to her arm, which became infected. Dr. Shilowski, the camp's medical officer, performed an amputation on Mafalda's arm, which would have been done without any anaesthetic, but sadly Mafalda bled to death on the operating table. Now, there are 2 stories about what happened to Mafalda after her death. One source says that she was buried in grave number 262 as an unknown woman, while Eugene Kogan, in his 1950 book The Theory and Practice of Hell, the German concentration camps and the system behind them, says that after her death, Mafalda's naked body was dumped in the crematorium. A priest took her body out of the heap, covered her up and arranged for a speedy cremation. He had cut off a lock of her hair so this could be sent on to her relations. Mafalda's death was not officially confirmed until Germany had surrendered in 1945. So there are a few little conspiracy and rumours about Mafalda's death. Some people think that she had been murdered by the SS on Hitler's orders and that the botched operation was just a cover story. It was also said that it wasn't Princess Mafalda that died on the operating table, but another woman, and Mafalda had been smuggled out of the camp. And another, most certainly not true story claims that Mafalda was flown to Egypt under a false identity and had a child with Egyptian King Farouk. But Princess Mafalda most definitely bled to death on that operating table in the concentration camp. Whether it was accidental or not, we do not know. But an Italian inmate of Mafalda's at the concentration camp said that Dr. Skalowski purposely botched operations and that this was common practice in the camp as a way for the Nazis to get rid of their political prisoners. After the war, Dr. Skalowski was tried and hanged for various war crimes, which included carrying out bizarre clinical trials on concentration camp inmates. To commemorate the 50th anniversary of the end of World War II, in Italy, a stamp was issued commemorating Princess Mafalda. On the stamp was an image of Mafalda against a barbed wire fence. So that was the tragic story of Princess Mafalda of Savoy. I feel really mean in saying this, but if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.